October the 19th, 2024. Guys, you're looking at a newsletter that if you have purchased anything from our website over the last 10 or 12 years having to do with My Patriot Supply, that's water filtration, long-term survival food, solar stuff, things like that, you probably get this newsletter. But for you guys that don't and haven't made a purchase there, all you have to do is go to bpearthwatch.com and sign up in the subscription box. Only thing you need is your email. We never sell it. It doesn't include your name or anything like that. The email is just so that we can add you to the mailing list. But you can get this free by doing that. But more than likely, most of you have made some type of purchase from them over the last decade. Now, this is important. I got it today, and let's go over it. And they put a statement in here direct from the official government website. It says, "We are your defense." The Department of Defense is America's largest government agency, with our military tracing its roots back to the pre-revolutionary times. The department has grown and evolved with our nation. Our mission is to provide the military forces needed to deter war and ensure our nation's security. And again, they're saying, or is it more than that? Just weeks ago, and many of you are aware of this, but there's some other information that they put in here with it that I think is very important. September 27th, 2024, 3 weeks ago maybe, a major amendment to the Department of Defense Directive 5240.01 came into effect, expanding the authority of the military to assist in domestic law enforcement activities and exercise the use of lethal force. Now, guys, if you have not looked at Zero Hedge or maybe Gateway Pundit, then you need to look at it, because right now it's a political chaos system that's setting in, and they're cheating left and right, and the Republicans are saying that in the ballot boxes, you punch in Republican and it goes to Democrat. Now some Democrats, I think maybe, where did I see it? Maybe in Pennsylvania, are coming out saying they are punching in Democrat and it's coming out Republican. But we're all seeing a lot of cheating by the different Secretary of States and the blue states, things like that. And so it's, it's because of what's happened in the last 4 years. It is the most important race in history, probably the most votes ever, legal votes will be presented, and it will determine the future of our nation. Everyone on this that's watching this understands what I'm talking about. But this is important because I think they may realize, guys, that this conflict that they're pushing on us, red-blue, out of necessity, because we are conservative, most of us. And what's wrong with being a conservative, not minding to have a job, take care of your family, things like that, leave everybody alone, take care of your own business. And they can't stand that. Why? Because they're being paid by outside forces like Mr. George and others to elect these crooked DAs and judges and governors around the nation and around the world, by the way. And so they, right now, in looking at the attitude of the comedian, in the last event she held, she was drunk and loose as a goose, guys. I mean, I guess she has to even try to put on any semblance of anything. I don't know what it is, but she was drunk as hell. And she's hiding out. And at that event that she held, they showed about 3 or 4 buses in the parking lot, and there was about that many people in the event. And remember earlier they showed that they were coming from out of state. It's pretty desperate measures. But why are they doing it in your face? Do they already have the assurance from certain entities in our nation that no matter what happens, even if the vote is overwhelmed one side or the other, that they're going to step in, they're going to create enough conflict themselves, not like they wouldn't ever do that, to make it look like maybe it's a civil war, bring about certain play actors and things like that, and there's going to be a lot of anger there already ready to light the fire if things are cheated again. Now, I don't mind, and just like Trump said the other day, I don't mind losing an honest race. You know, at least it was honest, right? The people made the choice. They cannot stand that. And so what I think they're setting up is a conflict, and it may go all the way to the Denver airport murals and what the real reason for the Denver airport is there for, maybe a major bug-out location like most of us think it is. Anyway, something's about to happen. There's too much noise online. Again, look at Gateway Pundit, look at Zero Hedge, a couple of those channels, and there's nothing but conflict being pushed. That's truth on most of the conservative channels, but it's still the conflict narrative, and at least someone's talking about it. Now, let's just go back for a moment. Just weeks ago, September 27, 2024, this major amendment to the Department of Defense Directive 5240 .01 came into effect, expanding the authority of the military to assist in domestic law enforcement activities and exercise the use of lethal force. Are you deplorables listening? In other words, the DOD now has the authority to defend America against Americans. What is DOD Directive 5240.01? Given the amount of disinformation and misinformation today, we want to focus on the facts. Again, this is from a lady there at My Patriot Supply. I'll show you who signed off on this. She works there. It's a very good article. It says DOD intelligence and intelligence-related activities and defense intelligence component assistant to law enforcement agencies and other civil authorities. The 2024 version is a major update to the 2016 version. Who came in then? You know. And it went into effect, again, a couple of weeks ago. The 2016 version focused on intelligence collection and civil liberties protection. However, the 2024 version additionally focuses on the military's role in assisting law enforcement. And if they ever get into that, they will take over. It will be a military or law situation, martial law. The update expanded version details circumstances when the DOD can assist local law enforcement, even authorizing the use of lethal force. It's deadly force. It also includes more language regarding domestic terrorism threats, whoever they deem to be a deplorable domestic threat. And look at the DOJ, the FBI. Man, they're ready to jump on this, aren't they? It's, and you know how it is. It's, in short, if someone, even an American citizen, is deemed a potential threat to the national security, the DOD can use lethal force to take that citizen down. This is a direct copy of Section 3.3, Levels of Authority in the DOD Directive. It's subject to paragraph 3.1. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or state or local enforcement agency, when lives are in danger, in response to a request for such an assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. Secretary of Defense approval. The Secretary of Defense may approve any type of requested permissible assistance described in paragraph 3.2. The decision to approve requests for these types of permissible assistance described in 3.2 to law enforcement agency and other civil authorities are reserved to the Secretary of Defense. Mr. Lloyd Austin, if I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong. Provision of personnel to support response efforts for civil disturbances, which may also require presidential authorization. May require, let me back up, DOD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. Maybe, like the Oklahoma deal, who knows, Anyway, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force. In other words, they're not going to just mess around with you. They're going to kill you, including death or seriously bodily injury. Now, they don't talk this bad, guys, about foreign terrorists coming across the border. Just saying. It says the enforcement of civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Think about that. Such use of force may be in accordance with DOD 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. Enough legalese in there where they can blow it off and wrap it around any way they want to. And you may have a choice. Get in that line, go to FEMA camp, or then if not, you're resisting and you're a threat, and so be it. It says, to sum it up, the DOD is authorized to allow military intervention in domestic affairs, such as civil disturbances following an election. You can read the DO Directive 524001 in its entirety here. I'm going to link to the article, guys, so you can look at it for yourself. And if I don't click on some of the links you are interested in, you can. Let's just look at it. They're talking about here the government has authority to spy on you. In the Directive 524001, it's alarming on its own, but it's even more horrifying when you factor in the executive orders already in place. For example, Order 14067 allows the government to surveil and control your money. How would they do it? Digital currency, guys. It's so concerning that Minnesota Congressman Emmer introduced the CBDC Anti-Surveillance Act on February the 22nd, 2024, to halt the progress of the digital dollar project. You and I have talked about it for over a year now, haven't we? It says, according to Emmer, the federal government seeks to maintain and expand financial control to which it has grown accustomed. How? Taxes. The idea of the central bank digital currency has gained traction with the institutions of power in the U.S. as a government-controlled programmable money that can be easily weaponized into a surveillance tool. Now, there are some people, and they're exactly right, but there are some people that can see this in a good way, I guess, if it's not done against people. And that would be seeing if the politicians are cheating. They're getting millions of dollars from stock market and foreign entities, right? Of course, they would never tell us that. But it's a terrible deal anywhere. They're trying to eliminate your ability to barter and trade. We were told that would happen. Now, let's add in Order 13603, which essentially gives the federal government power to seize control of everything you have, everything, including all commodities and products that are capable of being ingested by either human beings or animals. Can you dig any deeper into someone's life than that? All forms of energy, solar, wood, I guess you just think about it, gas, coal. Think about it. All forms of civil transportation. Civil, not the government. You won't have any cars. You'll get on a FEMA bus and ride where they tell you. They're going to take all your usable water from all sources. Think about it. I guess they'd drain your pond or tear your water system out. Health resources. They could take biological products, medical devices, materials, facilities, health supplies, services, and equipment. The government has the power to seize essentially everything under the guise of national defense. We're coming to help you. Guys, if this doesn't disturb you, nothing will. And what I'm trying to, again, do is alert you to it and saying we need to make it too big to rig. I'm not a complete fool. We are dealing with politicians on both sides. We know what happened from 2016 to 2020. Look at your bank accounts. We know what has happened since then. If that's not enough, that they're taking food and the ability for hospitalization, medicine, away from you and your family. If that's not enough to think about it, just if you're a Democrat, and there are a lot of Democrats now that are either realizing that they're going downhill fast, or there's some actual, I think there's 3 governors now in the swing states, guys, that are getting on the Trump train, even showing their political ads with Trump in them. Why? Because not that they're changing, and you guys better believe this in those states. If your Democratic governor's coming to you and saying, let's do the Trump thing, then that's going to last just until November the 5th. Wake up. If you don't like the way things are going now with the Democrats, don't trust any of them. I guarantee you there's some Republicans that you can't trust either. But I just wanted to touch base on this. Again, I'm going to link it, guys. Let me know your comments. Be civil in the comment section. I'm taking enough risk as it is to tell you this, but they're the ones making the laws and putting them out there where you can read them. So when we talk about preparations, you're saying, well, why would we get supply food, or why would we get water filtration if they're going to take it all? That's exactly right. Why are we going to store up on drugs and biological products, medical devices, health supplies? Why, if they're going to take it? Why do we want a car or a truck if they're going to take it? Well, you don't have to let people know every place that you have things, right? I think you understand what I'm saying. And just don't forget, why would they take your food, energy, transportation, all your water, and all your pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and equipment? To kill you. That's why. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.